Da, 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 da. What's up, guys? King Crisis here. Welcome to the channel. If you guys know the channel, please like and subscribe. Welcome to part 3 on what if Deku was Pink Diamond, or what if Deku had Pink Diamond's powers. Where we last left off, Kaminari has just discovered that he is related to the Steven Universe bloodline, meaning that he is in fact related to the Diamonds. At this time, Yellow Diamond has sacrificed her life and power in order to bestow the power of her diamond upon to Kaminari. But as this happens, Dark Diamond and his forces showed up. Well, from there, Blue Diamond proceeds to destroy the likes of Inko, Jasper, Amethyst, and Pearl all fused together, with the only people that are able to now help Steven being two weakened gems, being Ruby and Sapphire. Two formerly gems known as Garnet who can no longer fuse together after Dark Diamond straight up removed that ability from their gem core. Yes, he can do that. With that being said, we now cut on over to where we were. You see Deku and Kaminari both breathing heavily. We have a month off from school, man. What are we gonna do? Deku looks towards him. Well, we have to free these two. As he looks forward, he sees two gems. Deku's eyes begin to glow pink as he lifts up his hands, popping the bubbles that hold both Ruby and Sapphire. But they didn't form. They didn't rise up, they didn't reform, and he just looked on confused. He looks towards Kaminari. I'm gonna need your help. Kaminari looks towards him confused. What do you mean you're gonna need my help? I don't know how to do any of this. Deku then said, just hold out your hand. Kaminari lifts up his hand as he begins to hold his hand forward. Deku begins to do the same. Deku begins to have a pink aura come off of him, whilst Kaminari would have nothing come off of him. Deku proceeds to try again, but Kaminari just couldn't figure out how to use his powers. This causes Deku to sigh in annoyance. He tells him, imagine you're using your quirk. Kaminari would say, you don't think I tried that? Deku then looks on confused. Well, if this isn't working, then breathe in. Kaminari looks towards Deku like, bro. Deku just says, just do it. Breathe in. Kaminari begins to breathe in. Deku then will say, now close your eyes. Imagine anything that brings you happiness and your will to protect it. As he does so, Kaminari would listen. He closes his eyes and imagines anything, something that he loves, something worth protecting. As he closes his eyes and begins to focus his mind, his power begins to swell up. Kaminari's eyes begins to glow yellow, as a powerful yellow lightning begins to swirl off of his body. Deku then begins to glow as well, as he lifts up his hand and the same aura begins to glow off of him. As suddenly, Ruby's gem begins to float upwards. A shining light would explode off of it, as suddenly, you'd see Ruby form. But she looks different. She's taller. She seems to be a bit slimmer, and she looks different. Scar across her eye. And her gem, it has a crack through the middle. It's a very thin and very slim crack, but it's clear that it's been cracked. She looks forward, as she only has one arm, and she looks towards him. You must be Izuku, she would say. Nice to meet you, my name is Ruby. She seems a lot calmer than what Deku was expecting. From what the stories he heard of Ruby, that bitch was a crash out, and this girl right here is very calm. Ruby explains that since we're freed, that means that the others, they're gone, Deku would say. As he has a saddened facial expression, but they may be still out there. I mean, Blue Diamond is back. As he says this, Ruby looks on. Where is she? She's working with that man. She's no longer working with us. I'm confused. Ruby would quickly say, why would she be working with him and not with us? Deku just shakes his head. He's confused. He doesn't know anything that's going on here. But what he does know is, he points towards Kaminari. He's a diamond. He's just like me. He's literally just like me. He's my cousin. This is Kaminari. She would look forward. This is Kaminari. You're the other universe. You're the one who Yellow Diamond said she would choose. Kaminari would look forward as he would nod towards her. Alright then. Since he's the one that Yellow chose, do you know how to use your powers? Deku would nod. Then you would teach him how to use his. She would say, I'll monitor and train both of you from there. But I need you to wake up Sapphire. I need her. I need her. Deku looks forward, as both of them lift up their hands as they try to awaken Sapphire, but she doesn't form. They would try again, doing the same method they did with Ruby, but Sapphire just doesn't form. Ruby places her head down. She begins to cry, saying she's afraid of what's gonna happen. She doesn't want to come out. Deku sees this and he's like, no, we need her. As Deku begins to glow, he enters his semi-pink form and begins to try again, but it doesn't work. He then will say, I'm confused. Ruby then will say, it's not that your powers aren't working. She's refusing to form. Deku then looks on confused. You can do that? As Ruby looks towards him, she would nod. You can do that. This causes Deku to sigh as he becomes a little bit annoyed. Damn it! Deku would say. We need her. They say she's the most intelligent of them all. She's more intelligent than the likes of Pearl, than the likes of Jasper, who may be a big, strong-ass brute, but she's very smart. And it's said that the Sapphire's tens of thousands of times smarter. All Sapphires are. He would say, they're the smartest of the gems, aside from White Diamond herself. And, well, Yellow Diamond. Blue Diamond's pretty smart, but she was overly emotional. I'll train you guys from here. And please, don't think you're gonna have to hold back on me because I'm lacking. She looks forward. As a fiery aura appears all around her. I'll fucking crush you. As she says it, she stumps her feet, with 2 feet-like things appearing on her feet and 1 fist gauntlet appearing on her other hand. She begins to jump up and down. Deku looks around before saying this isn't a good area to fight. People could come around at any given moment. We need a good location. She would smirk, I have the best location. As she would grab Deku with one arm and literally kick Kaminari into the air with her legs and literally proceeds to grab him with the same arm she's holding Deku with, by the way. And then she proceeds to run off at super fast speeds, with Kaminari carrying Sapphire's gem. They make it on over towards a warp pad, where from there she would step on, and the warp pad is active as they appear in a area. A cave, actually. She then looks forward for saying, this right here was a cave that once had thousands of corrupted gems inside of it. Now it's just an empty cave with a whole bunch of unique gems that once roamed inside of it. But ever since Dark Diamond showed up, the cave has been empty and abandoned. This cave gives us the opportunity to see what could be done. As she looks forward, she begins to smile. Are you guys ready for this? Deku would nod as Ruby cracks her neck and she proceeds to beat the absolute crap out of Kaminari. Everything Kaminari tries, he just couldn't use his powers correctly, and he wound up getting absolutely pummeled. As he was getting pummeled, Kaminari actually successfully activated his bubble, because he was getting his butt kicked so badly that his bubble winded up forming. As his bubble formed in order to protect Kaminari, Kaminari eventually winds up being able to use his bubble to keep Ruby back. But after a few minutes, the bubble winds up just popping on its own, which leaves Kaminari open, and Ruby proceeds to hit him with a ruthless uppercut, a spin kick, and she jumps into the air again and kicks him straight back down to the ground before landing above him, shape-shifting her arm into a very long arm with just these sinister-like fingers. She shoots her hand forward and goes in and it literally picks him up with her fingers as she tells him that just like this, she can stick her fingers through his nose, right through his head, and kill him on the spot. As she says this, Kaminari just freezes. He's like, what? She then would say, you heard me. It could be so easy that I could fucking kill you. You need to get your training up, kid. As she drops Kaminari, she then looks towards Deku. Was this even smart, giving him that power now? Deku would look forward. I don't know, he would say. I honestly don't know. I just did what Yellow told me to do. She said to give him the power, and I gave him the power. I really don't think this was a good idea, she would say, but I'm gonna respect my diamond's wishes. She looks forward. It's your turn. Deku will walk forward. As he walks forward, he summons his shield, and Kaminari gets into a fighting stance. Deku explains, as Yellow Diamond, you have several powers. You may see all the powers I have. Yellow Diamond has just as many powers. Actually, potentially, you may be the only person who can fix Ruby and Sapphire's weakness. As he says this, he makes him look confused. You may be the only person that can fix that little crack within their chest. He explains, Yellow Diamond's powers are enhanced strength, speed, durability, immortality. Immortality, but didn't you say she was dying? There's limits to that, of course. It's all immortality. All immortality has its limit, whether it is mental limits or physical limits. He explains, but like I said, you have limits. Now, your enhanced strength can be as anything that you need it to be. Okay? You're able to shape-shift your body in any way you see fit. You're able to generate and control powerful bursts of lightning that you manipulate at your will. Mind you, you are completely immune to said lightning. You're able to summon gem weapons. Now, these gem weapons can be anything that you want them to be. Same thing applies for all gems. Our weapons are whatever we choose. Of course, you will need the proper training with said weapons, but of course, they are whatever it is you choose. Yellow Diamond, as I know her, she preferred to use a spear in combat. After all, I've seen her use it several times. Her spear is able to generate the lightning that she has flowing throughout her at all times. Said lightning is incredibly powerful, generating powerful bursts of lightning, shockwaves, has the power to absorb energy from other things. You have the power to heal anything, any wound. You may even have the power to bring electrical things to life. This makes him look confused. Like what? Your cell phone, you can make it sentient. Your computer, you can make it sentient. You know the same thing you'd be using Pornhub for? You could use it sentiently. You can make your TV sentient. You have control over technology. You can speak with technology. You have the power to summon any weapons, as well as summoning the same exact bubbles that I can summon. Now, most things that you summon will have a general lightning glow to them. When I say most things, mostly your sword, your spear, and your brass knuckles or brass knuckles. Oh, so those are the powers, as well as regeneration, and the fact that if your diamond were to for some reason become inactive, you still have your quirk. Me, on the other hand, if my diamond were to become inactive, I will be a quirkless person because I was not born with a quirk. Oh, and your most important and most powerful ability, you can resurrect people. Huh? You can resurrect people. I can bring people back to life. Yes. And since you are, wait a damn minute. You're Yellow Diamond. Deku would rush forward towards Kaminari. He places his hands on his shoulder. That means you can get in contact with my mom. This makes Kaminari look at him confused. Deku then explains, my mom was resurrected by Yellow Diamond's power. She was brought back to life by the same exact power that you now wield, which means that you are connected. She's part of your garden. This means you can reach her. He then looks towards Ruby. We need to wake Sapphire. We need to wake her. She's the only person who has these mental-based powers for real. My powers aren't that well. I'm not that good with my mental abilities. I can't just astral project into that realm. Well, I can't straight up teleport into that realm anymore. But he can. Only thing I need now is a lion. I've always been looking for the lion. I mean, he's clearly alive. I can see him within my head. As he explains this, Ruby will look forward. Kid, that lion is destroyed. He's alive, but Dark Diamond did some things to that creature. If you go through its head, it will likely attack you. That's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on Kaminari. Kaminari can reach my mom. We have to give him a chance. We have to see what he can do. As Deku says this, Ruby will look forward. It's going to take us a long time to wake up Sapphire. And it's not even a wake up. You're trying to get me to force her awake. And if she doesn't want to wake up, I'm not going to let her. I'm not going to wake her up. Deku just looks at her. And he's thinking for a moment. You loyal, stupid bitch. I need you to wake her up. As Deku says this, Ruby begins to get angry. I'm not waking her up if she don't want to wake up. Deku then looks at her. Okay, fine. Fine. From here, guys, we do a time skip of a whole month. Of a month of straight, pure, unadulterated training the entire time in between Deku, Ruby, and Kaminari. And during this time period, Kaminari has learned to use all of his abilities at will. Although they are not mastered quite yet, they are all extremely powerful and extremely advanced. At this point, you see Kaminari. He looks forward towards Deku. One final shot. They both would walk forward as they lift up their hands again, but this time both of them place up both hands. And Kaminari will close his eyes as he activates his Diamond Authority. Deku will close his eyes, he activates his Diamond Authority. As in both of them will close their eyes and focus their minds. Not only are they trying to heal her, but they're also trying to connect with her at the same exact time. Astral project their minds into the gem's consciousness. They're trying to contact her. And as they do so, you see them. They open their eyes and they look around into this all blue realm. Where there they see one green figure sitting down. Ruby looks upward. She opens her eyes. Well, her eye. Her eye is glowing green. And she looks forward. Oh, you're the great Kaminari. The one Yellow was so proud when she found out we're her family. Oh, Steven. Oh, my bad. Izuku. Please. Oh, you guys were expecting to wake me up and I was gonna be your precious little Sapphire. Yeah, that bitch is dead. Nice to meet you. I'm Darkfire. What do you need? I'll give you one thing before I return to my diamond. As she says this, Deku looks towards Kaminari, and Kaminari lifts up his hand and unleashes a massive bolt of lightning towards her. She quickly jumps into the air and flips over the lightning. Wow, you were going to attack me without any hesitation? Please, you're just so ruthless. That was unnecessary. But whatever. Of course you would try to attack me without any hesitation. You are a foolish man. As she says this, she looks forward. Remember one thing. I'm the main bitch that's here to take you down. But of course, you can always try using... Kaminari then proceeds to lift up his hands as lightning turns around and smites her in the back. Sapphire would screech out in pain before suddenly she begins to glow. Deku then says again as Kaminari smites another bolt of lightning towards her. She begins to screech in pain as Deku proceeds to immediately pop out one of his cannons. He activates it and it blasts towards her. As it does so, she begins to be blasted as she's blasted from all three angles. Slowly but surely, you begin to see her skin shift from being a green to a blue. Almost like the green is being burned off. As this happens, Kaminari jumps into the air and uses Yellow Diamond's ability to fix things. As you guys see, she can fix broken gems that she shattered. Yeah, he jumps upward into the air and proceeds to use that same ability on Sapphire. As this happens, Sapphire shakes, freezes, contorts, as suddenly you see a dark cloud just flow out of her body before dissolving. She begins to breathe heavily, and she begins to just straight up cry on the spot. She curls up into a ball and just begins to rock back and forth as she begins to cry. Deku just looks forward and he's like, whoa, she's having a straight breakdown. Kaminari looks towards and he's like, damn. But she begins to cry and scream as she starts saying the pain, the suffering. Those innocent people, they died. They died. As she's shaking, Deku just looks at her, almost heartlessly. Whilst Kaminari, he looks at her and he feels nothing but pity. What she must have experienced must be insane for someone to cry like that. For someone to be experiencing that type of fear, that type of torment, just look at her. She's shaking back and forth. She's rolling around in a ball, like he's terrified. He has no idea what this girl must have went through, what she must have seen. She had to have seen some horrific things to be screaming like that. Deku looks at her and he can only feel horrible. It makes him feel sick seeing this. He wants to help her, but he don't know what to do. He looks towards Kaminari, who walks forward. As he looks at her, he will say, hey, Sapphire. But she doesn't respond. She just continues to cry. And Deku and Kaminari just don't know what to do. They're both confused, they're both a bit concerned, but what can they really do right now? It's clear that the girl is having a full straight up breakdown. And they're scared for her. They're really scared for her because why is she freaking out like this? Why is she losing her mind? Kaminari looks towards Deku worriedly, and Deku explains that he doesn't know. He really just does not know. There's literally nothing he can do. There's literally nothing he can say because, well, he doesn't know what's going on. And Deku would look forward. Okay, we can't help her yet, but not yet. But now that we're here, within the mind of a gym, we figured out how to do this. He looks towards Kaminari. Please contact my mom. Kaminari looks towards him. He says he'll try. He closes his eyes and instantly begins to activate his gym power. As he does so, he begins to breathe in and breathe out. Inko Midoriya, I call upon you. Inko Midoriya, I call upon you. Inko Midoriya, I call upon you. As Deku begins to feel the ground rumble, so does Kaminari. He looks on seriously, not knowing what's gonna happen. Ah! Kaminari burst out screaming, screams of pure terror and agony. as he rolls over and literally falls on the ground, same as Sapphire is. He begins to shake, but Deku quickly jumps upwards and proceeds to slam a ruthless punch onto Kaminari's face. Kaminari exhales a large breath. She's holy shit. I can't explain it. I can't put it into words what I just seen. He looks towards Izuku. Izuku, I'm sorry. Inko's gone. As he says, Izuku looks towards him. What are you talking about? What do you mean she's gone? He grabs him and begins to shake him. What do you mean? And Kaminari explains. That's not your mom, man. That's a monster. Whoever that is. There's no way that's your mom. Izuku, that's a demon. It's ready to kill us all. Deku looks towards him. My mom isn't an it. As he says, he begins to get angry at him. Kaminari explains, man, you told me to look. You told me to see. And I'm telling you now, what I seen, you don't want to see. You don't want to know anything about Izuku. We're going to forget it, okay? Your mom is gone. I'm sorry, I understand. But trust me, she's gone. As he says this, Izuku just kind of stands there. I'm going to need more of an explanation, Kaminari. Kaminari said, I'll explain when I can. But I can't think of that right now. It's unholy. That is the simplest way I can put it. It's unholy. What is he doing to her, Kaminari? Tell me right now. Deku didn't want to say. Deku didn't want to say. As he looks towards Kaminari, but Kaminari doesn't respond. He doesn't even blink. He stares at Izuku. Izuku doesn't know what to do anymore. Kaminari just freaked out like crazy. He had to have seen something horrific to be acting like that. That response was absolutely insane. How it's almost unnecessary, and he responded like that in such amounts of terror and fear. Clearly he's seen something that just brought him nothing but genuine fear. Deku looks towards me, asks, is she at least alive? He'll say, oh, she's alive, all right. I'm not sure if she's even human, but I'm pretty certain she's alive. Deku didn't say, good. That's all that's important to me right now. I'll figure out how to help her later, but I just need to know if she was okay. Yeah, okay, Kaminari would say. Totally. From here we now time skip. They've returned to UA. With Deku and Kaminari returning to UA, the class notices that Kaminari looks a bit different. Almost too quickly. For one, he's gotten a haircut. His haircut is cut much shorter. Kaminari's much taller. As well as the fact that Kaminari has gained a crazy amount of muscle within only a few days. Technically only 30 days. And it looks like bro has been trained as a fucking MMA fighter, whatever the fuck y'all know what I'm talking about. But he's been trained as like a pro fighter his whole life. And just before this, Kaminari was scrawny and he was weak looking. Now he looks like he could bench press your girl. So, yeah. Now he looks like he's a fucking unit. So Deku, and well actually the rest of the class was confused. But from here we cut on over towards Aizawa, who tells the class about, well, the UA Sports Festival. As he tells the class about the UA Sports Festival, he winds up handing, oh my god, time skip, fuck. Time skipping over towards Deku as he walks forward, and he begins to explain. I believe that every last one of us has a chance of winning today. But I'm going to say this right now. I'm not holding back. I know 4 of my friends aren't going to be holding back. And we're going to be going in for the win, no matter what. As he says this, Deku eyes will flash pink. I'm gonna win. From here we now cut on over towards the test starting. As soon as the test starts, you see Deku crack his neck with a pink aura exploding off of him. He zips forward at blinding speeds. Kaminari proceeds to have a yellow aura come off of him, and he zips forward, with a yellow trail being left behind Kaminari and a pink trail left behind Deku. As this happens, Bako and Todoroki both shoo him off, with Todoroki still freezing the other contestants like he did in the original timeline. With this, Bakugo and Todoroki winds up getting pretty close, but Deku and Kaminari both blitz off, but shooting past him even further. Bakugo and Todoroki stunned at the speed that Deku and Kaminari were moving at. They just were not expecting this. We now cut on over towards both of them, crossing the finish line at the same exact time. And I mean same exact, not no toe first, not no body first, nothing. Same exact time. With this being the case, they basically did a crazy handicap on the two of them. They made the most ruthless handicap you can think of. And it's where both of them have the 1 million headband, their own teams, but no one else can join their team. But Deku looks towards Kaminari, and he just develops the most devious smirk of all time. And Kaminari immediately knows what Deku's thinking. As soon as the test would start and all the other contestants starts looking at them, Deku and Kaminari begins to dance. And everyone just stops and looks confused until they freaking fuse. And now everyone is looking baffled. As they look baffled, Deku and Kaminari, Deku summons his shield, summons Kaminari's spear, tosses his shield into the air, throws his spear right through it, and that bitch transforms into a lance. As he does so, Deku says, "I don't like this." He tosses it into the air again, as then it turns into a giant battle axe. He's like, "Yeah, this is better." And he looks forward. And the other contestants look confused. For the sake of this, we're just going to call this fusion Dinky, because why not? But Dinky looks forward. As he looks forward, the other contestants look around, and immediately bro lets off a huge howl. A massive sonic stream that sends all the other contestants flying. Mind you, this is the equivalent of two Stevens fusing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be overpowered. But letting off a horrific scream, he knocks all of the others back. As well, from there, he forms a gigantic bubble. We're gonna say for simplicity's sake, the bubble's red. But a giant red bubble that winds up blocking all the other students from getting near them. The fusion then proceeds to sit down. As it sits down, he then would think, low-key, there's a lot of more cool things I can do. Super speed, shield summon, bubble control, shield control, laser cannons. I can bring stuff to life. I can bring plants to life. I can bring rocks to life. I wonder what else I can do. As the fusion begins to think, it also begins to list off all of Kaminari's abilities. And it's like, the other kids can't even get anywhere near me. You see Bakugo and Todoroki both freeze. Like, Todoroki would actually freeze over the whole bubble, but he still didn't get the headband because Dinky is literally just sitting there. He's sitting there. As this happens, the test would eventually end, and of course, Deku and Dinky will both be tied for first place because they wrote a team together and, well, they straight up fucking fused together. And, well, they still have 1 million points compared to the other students who probably only have a couple hundred. With this being the case, we now time skip on over towards the first match, which is Deku versus Shinso. We're going to say Deku still replies, but the thing is, due to Deku having a whole separate consciousness, when Deku does reply and he goes blank, his gem activates. With his gem activating, his whole body would turn pink, and his eyes would turn an even darker pink, actually straight pink. And Pink Deku looks upward, and he slowly turns. "Nice try," he would say. And as he says this, Shinso looks up confused. Simple snap and a massive shockwave knocks Shinso out of the ring. As this happens, Kaminari looks on confused. What the hell just happened? Thinking about this, he would run down towards that Shinso kid. He picks him up. He would say, "Hey, look at me. I don't think Izuku's gonna get up anytime soon. So do the same thing to me now." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" Kaminari's like, "Just do it." And he's like, "Okay." And blip, Kaminari's also hit by the same technique. As suddenly, Yellow Kaminari would activate. But as Yellow Kaminari activates, you will see glimpses of the actual Yellow Diamond's personality taking a bit control. "Izuku, calm down. Return your regular consciousness to control." As this happens, you would see Pink Deku look upward. "Maybe I don't want to. Maybe I like being in control." Bullshit. You're right. Oh shit. Time skip. You now see Deku as he stands in a ring, but he's not standing across from Todoroki. Instead, he's standing across from Kaminari. As Deku summons his mother's sword, Kaminari summons his spear. As Kaminari rushes forward, thrusting his spear forward, Deku charges forward with his sword, and immediately Deku clashes his sword with Kaminari's spear. As Kaminari jumps backwards, electrifying the spear, he throws it forward. As Deku proceeds to summon his shield, and the spear will clash with the shield, you see a massive shockwave of light. We end this video off right here. I'm gonna get off right here is because I'm starting to stutter a lot and I'm starting to make mistakes. And since I'm starting to make mistakes, I don't want to do that. Okay, I really don't want to do that. I promise y'all a lot of videos during this break, but to be real with y'all, I only successfully recorded 2. So I need to record one more video after this, which is gonna probably be a movie, which I'm gonna try recording on Friday. I'm probably not gonna finish editing it until I'm actually out of town, but it's not really gonna matter. The video is gonna come out either way it go. So with that being said, guys, I'm out this bit.